How to manage your time as a student and still enjoy life. Time management can be extremely difficult for anyone to master, but especially so for students. As a student, you know you need to get your work done, but you also want to have fun and enjoy life. But if you stay disciplined and always prioritize studying over having any sort of fun in life, then when you do sit down to study, you'll feel like you're missing out on something. You'll feel distracted and won't be able to focus on your work. But we also want to avoid the other extreme where you completely ignore your studies, just go crazy and end up maybe feeling guilty when you do take that time to enjoy yourself. So in this video, I'll break down some simple and practical time management strategies for students so you can excel in your classes, but still have the flexibility to enjoy those spontaneous moments with friends. So the importance of flexibility. Planning a minute-by-minute schedule just simply won't work for most students. I know it definitely would not have worked for me back in college. There's just too many unexpected things that come up throughout the day. Passing by a friend after class could turn into a long conversation, which turns into spontaneously walking across campus to go grab some food. This can be frustrating for people who like more of that consistency in their life, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Those spontaneous opportunities to meet and hang out with people can turn into some of the best moments in college, so it's definitely important to incorporate flexibility and allow for these spontaneous moments in your schedule. So leave room on your calendar for unexpected things, put gaps in between the little events. In general, expect the unexpected. You're not going to be able to stick to your schedule or complete your whole plan every single day, and that's completely fine. Just move things to the next day and adjust as needed. So we want to be flexible, but within reason, because at the end of the day, we still want to get the things done that we actually need to get done. So that's why it's important to establish priorities. As a student, you can't do everything, and inevitably you'll run into a time when you do have to choose between two different things that you do want to do. And this is where it's important to kind of reflect on your personal and academic goals in life. Think about all the major areas in your life and try figuring out what are the key priorities for you in this moment. If you want to take this exercise a step further, you could even literally write out each area of your life and rank it in terms of importance to you. So for example, this might look like number 1 priority, academics. You could even break it down into specific classes if you wanted to. Number 2, social life, spending time with friends and family. 3, maybe personal health, fitness, going to the gym, exercising, sports, whatever. Then maybe your work or some sort of side hustle, dating life, extracurricular activities, clubs, any sort of organizations you're a part of, professional development, internships, then maybe some other hobbies or passions that you have. Obviously, this is just an example list of what a student's priorities might look like. Go through this exercise yourself and figure out what your own priorities are. And if you do this exercise, it's not like it's some set in stone list that you need to follow all the priorities. Like if you ranked personal health and fitness over social life, it doesn't mean that if anyone asks you to hang out when you would normally go to the gym, you have to say no and just prioritize, exercising instead. Or if your friends want to hang out later at night, it's not like, oh, you have to prioritize your sleep because you said health is more important than social life. It's not like that. It's more of just an exercise to help you start thinking more intentionally about how you spend your time. Obviously, it's okay to every once in a while go against your overall priorities, but if you do start to feel lost or like you're getting off track, this is a great exercise to do or a list to refer back to. So how you can save time as a student. So there's lots of things you might want to do as a college student, but the fact is there's only 24 hours in a day. And while we can't change that, you can become more efficient with the time that you do have. When it comes to saving time, usually the first thing that gets cut back for students is sleep. And of course, figure out what works best for you, but I would advise, against sacrificing sleep too much, because you might feel like you're saving time and it's okay every once in a while, but if you consistently sacrifice sleep so you can do other things, it's going to catch up with you and just make the hours that you are awake much less enjoyable. What I think would be a lot more impactful than sacrificing an hour or two of sleep is looking for the little moments throughout the day where you can save a few minutes here and there. So this could be like getting a head start on your homework in between classes when you would normally spend that time just kind of scrolling through Instagram. And with schoolwork in general, you don't want to cut corners necessarily, but look for ways that you can increase your efficiency with your studying. So this could be like changing up your study techniques. Don't just rewrite your notes, do more active recall, but that could be a whole separate video on how to study properly. It could be as simple as maybe bringing your gym clothes with you to class because you know that the gym is closer to your classroom, so that way you don't have to walk all the way back to your dorm and then all the way back to the gym after class. You can just go straight to the gym. Just think about your average day, and I'm sure you could come up with a few moments where you could save a little bit of time. It's those little things that seem insignificant, but they can really start to add up over the weeks and the months. Let's say you find all the little moments where you can save some time. You do your homework in between classes, you increase your efficiency with studying, whatever it is, and then you end up saving an extra 1 hour per day. That's 7 hours a week, 28 hours a month, 336 hours a year that you can now spend doing some extra studying for your exams, catching up on sleep, hanging out with friends and family, improving your health, starting a side hustle. There's endless possibilities. And finally, the time management tools that you can use to start applying everything I discussed in this video. But before I get get into that, if you've enjoyed the video so far, I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. We're on our way to almost 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully we'll hit it in next couple months, maybe, I don't know. So there's plenty of complex time management and productivity systems out there. These can work for some people, but they require more thought and time spent on the planning side of things. And I know it definitely would not have worked for me back as a college student. So my simple productivity system involves just two main components, a calendar and a task manager or to-do list. I've made a couple of videos on this system where I go more in depth into each component, but to quickly summarize, you basically collect, organize, and prioritize your tasks on your to-do list, and then schedule out when you'll do those tasks on your calendar. Leave room for flexibility and adjust blocks on your calendar as needed throughout the day. Watch this video to learn more about my simple system for productivity and time management. As always, do something today that your future self would thank you for.